This is how I lost $443 day trading ES today on November 21st, 2025. It has been, I don't even know how long it's been since I've taken a trade. Weeks. I have not taken any trades since my last video, mainly because the market really has just not given me the confidence I want to see to take a trade. We've had lower time frame SMTs playing out over higher time frame SMTs. Just not any clear draws on liquidity. Really, this whole downside move here, and really going back towards September, it's just price action has just not been the best here. On the 4-hour coming into the day, yesterday we had a massive sell-off, big sell-off overnight. And then coming into the session open, we had a little bit of consolidation here. No SMT at this time, because we can see that on the 4-hour, all these levels here are taken out. Let me zoom in over here. All these levels here are taken out. Next level of liquidity on the 4-hour is going to be this level here on September 5th. Same with ES. Our next liquidity level on ES is going to be this September 4th, 5th level, this daily level here. All this 4-hour liquidity here has been already taken out coming into the day. So we had no higher time frame SMT that was playing out. So based off of that, I was really just waiting to see what market was going to give me, to be completely honest with you. I'll drop down here to the hourly. You see more of what I was thinking. Once again, this is the 10 a.m. candle close. We are very far away from any draws on liquidity, hourly draws on liquidity to the downside. So I was leaning more towards being bullish today, even though we had no higher time frame SMT that was playing out at these lows. We had just moved a lot away from these lows. We had taken out a 4-hour liquidity level here, and now we were starting to show signs of a reversal. And also because our draws on liquidity to the downside were just very limited, I came into the day with an open mind and wanting to target London session highs. So this is our 945 candle. Let me get to our 945 candle here as well. Yep. So coming into open, as I said, our draws on liquidity to the downside are limited. We have a lot more draws on liquidity stacked to the upside here. We have London session, both indexes. Then we have a bunch of low resistance 5-minute highs that I have marked out here on the 15-minute time frame that I'll show you on the 5-minute time frame here in a minute. And then we have this hourly level here, this top blue line here on both indexes hourly level, which is a lot closer at market open than coming all the way down and taking out these hourly lows here. And also paired to the fact that London session is so close to these 5-minute highs here, especially on ES, they're almost equal. I was wanting to take longs at the time. Now, let me drop down here to the 5-minute and see what market looks like here. Now, what we have here is 945. This right here is our 945 candle. So, coming into the day, as I had mentioned, just talked about, we have London session high here. It's always a good draw on liquidity. And then we have 5-minute high, 5-minute high, 5-minute high. That's also hourly high. Same with NQ. We have a 5-minute high, 5-minute high, and an hourly high. That's also a 5-minute. So I was wanting to find a way to take longs up to London session and then target multiple of these other levels here. And as we can see, first 15 minutes of price action, this is what I was wanting to see. I was wanting to see price retrace, maybe give us a SMT from this 5-minute level down, from this 5-minute level up, something like that. That's what I was originally hoping for, but we really did not get a SMT at all. We can see we have indexes just making lower lows on the 5-minute, generating more of this liquidity. Look how many of these 5-minute highs we have stacked up here. You see that. We have this 5-minute high, like just so many 5-minute highs playing out here that we can target to the upside on, NQ and ES really. So from here, I was not willing to. The draws on liquidity were strong, but I told myself I'm not taking this long unless we have some sort of a SMT, because I need a SMT to be able to take a trade. This is blindly, even though the draws on liquidity are nice, more obvious than the one short, I need a SMT to be able to take this trade, and it just did not present itself nicely. Not to mention that the break of structure. Now I did end up taking this trade, I will say, on a eval account. So once we got a 1-minute break of structure to the upside, what I did was on this 1-minute break of structure, risked this low, and then as simple as targeting these London session highs on NQ because it was the stronger index. And that was right at 953. But if I pulled, let's see, let me pull ES back up. Pull ES back up. So obviously that long was the ideal trade on NQ up to London session high, but like I said, there was no SMT. So what when at the time, the next 5-minute candle, what we can see is NQ come up, take London session, take this 5-minute level, and take London session, but then we immediately get a reject on the next 5-minute candle. Immediately get a retrace on the 5-minute candle. And what we have at that time is ES put in equal 5-minute highs at this 596 level. So, to me, if we were going to put an SMT in to go short and target shorts, we would have liked to see ES leading the short side movement because it had failed to take out all these 5-minute levels here and London session. Whereas NQ took out all these 5-minute levels and it put an SMT at London session. Here to here, and we have this SMT from here to here. But on that next 5-minute candle, what we can see is NQ actually leading the move to the downside. Now, at this moment in time, this is what this tells me. This tells me that because ES is hesitant to be the leading index to the downside, despite the London session SMT favoring it supposedly to be the leading index to go short, paired with the fact that we have an SMT at this 5-minute level here, is very indicative of, to me, that ES at least wants to come out and take out these 5-minute highs because they are amazing draws on liquidity. And paired with the fact that NQ just took out this London session but has a bunch of low resistance 5-minute liquidity that could also take out. So I was still leading bullish despite having this SMT at London session highs. And this is not necessarily even a trade that I regret, to be completely honest with you, because I have not taken a trade in weeks. And I was doing that for a specific reason. Market was just not showing me what I needed to see to take a trade. And this is a trade where I would take again, despite having this SMT here, because our draws on liquidity are so strong to the upside and not so much to the downside. And we have these equal 5-minute highs that are just so relatively stacked on top of each other. London session high almost equal this 5-minute high. Just long shorts more appealing to me, and it more so was also what price was showing us at the time. Because if we put in this SMT, we would have liked to see ES leading short. ES was being resistant to go short, showing its hand that it was drawing towards these equal 5-minute highs. So from there, once we have this SMT here, paired with the fact that there's so much more liquidity still to the upside to be taken out on both indexes, rather than targeting all the way down here. I mean, this is a 100-point move for a take profit trade short, a take profit one trade short. There's just so much more liquidity left to the upside here. So with that being said, what I did was once we get that SMT put in on the 5-minute, and then once we displace this 1-minute fair value gap, I entered in long on ES. There's these lows targeting these equal 5-minute highs. That was going to be a take profit one, and then I just stacked up these other relative equal highs as my next take profits. But almost what happened immediately, you can see that I got a terrible fill here because price snapped essentially right at this candle close. So I got this fill here. And then what I ended up happening was price ended up BSing around, and then I got stopped. But once again, we can see that price ended up respecting this 1-minute fair value gap here, which I'm fine with that because I'm not going to enter a trade all the way up here. I thought it was more obvious to me that there was more opportunity to go long. And what we did was we get a push up, and then we get a 5-minute retrace, SMT, 1-minute confluence disrespected, and then I enter trade that I would take again and will take again if it presents itself to me. But nonetheless, price ended up, and you can see how hesitant price was to blow through these stop loss. But still a loss. I'll have to reflect on it, think what I can do better. I have been very, very patient in the trades that I have been taking, but the price for the strategy right now is just has not been the best. I don't know. I mean, really for the last couple months, honestly, I've been sitting here patiently every single day. It's not that I haven't been at my PC and my laptop. I have been watching price every single day, and I just have not liked anything. I've seen other guys in this space going to pretty decent drawdown and regret taking certain trades. And for me, something just needs to be ideal for me to take it. And to me, in my opinion, this 5-minute SMT with so many liquidity levels left to the upside, it's just I would take that every day. And we can see what price ends up doing is we end up coming down, putting in a SMT at this level on NQ later in the day. Yes, and then you can see that was ended up being the SMT that did send us higher to take out all these levels on ES, even the hourly level. So had the right bias, just had the wrong SMT. Had the wrong 5-minute SMT. Tried to play it off this SMT here to take out these highs as opposed to price wanting to come down to this level here and form SMT at this level here to then go up and take out all these highs. But I was not willing to take a trade at this time, especially because with price so low to London session, I would have thought that at the time NQ would have come down and put an SMT at this level as opposed to this random level during London session. But had the right idea, just at the wrong time, I suppose. I had a price ended up going to take out all these levels off a different SMT. But that was today's trade recap. I don't know. Who knows when I'm going to take another trade? Price has been super not revealing and not helpful, but I don't mind at all. It's just indicative to me that when I do get a good setup, especially because I've had such a good win rate before this crappy price action time, like back in June, July, and August, I was killing it, and that's when I was It's relatively newer to the strategy I've been using, but now that once I get a stretch like that again, I'm going to be sizing up more heavy, especially when we have times like this last couple months where there's just not that much opportunity. I am going to be sizing up from now on the trades that I am confident in and do take. But like I said, that was today's trade recap, and thank you.